and welcome to the Island Club. I'm Rent Gorta, and like every Friday I've got interviews here with interesting things happening on the island, and something very exciting happening tomorrow, Saturday, at the Labour Day market down in Claris, is the launch of the book The True Tales of Great Bear Island. And here in the studio with me I've got John Scrimgeour of the Great Bear History Research Group and Don Armitage, the editor of the book, to talk a little bit about what people can get to see themselves tomorrow. Hello, John.
Hi there, Rent.
Okay, I'll just get you to move the microphone close to you.
Okay,
and then
that's good.
All right. Now, John, I want to get you to tell us a little bit about how the History Research Group got this project going and how it's all set up.
Okay, well, one way I'll leave the organisation to Don to talk through, but basically history is important because it's either retained or lost. The value of history differs for different people and different places at different times. If we want to understand our history and our place and our land, then we must preserve our cultural heritage. The stories of the barrier here are absolutely fascinating tales of people of all walks of life who helped shape this land. This is the role of the history group, and the book, which is coming out tomorrow, plays a hugely important part of this. It's to help us, people to become aware of our treasures, the taonga, the sites, objects and cultural forces that shaped this island. This is done by protecting and recording and anticipating for tomorrow and tomorrow's tomorrow. So we've recorded selected individuals, we've asked people to write and so on, and this is the outcome, the book, which has had a lot of hard work, discipline's gone into it, good editorial work been done, and Don here is the key to that, so I'll hand over to him. Don.
Well, Don, you just come back to the island here yesterday, I believe, and you'll be there in person to present the book. It's been quite a project, hasn't it?
It's been going on since November last year. The short stories were in by the end of April, and the books were printed about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they arrived here about a week ago, I think. So we're all set to go tomorrow morning. It's been a long process, but it's all turned out damn good.
So tell us a little bit more about the book, because I know that the official launch is tomorrow, so we're not really meant to talk about what's in it because that's to be revealed there. You have to be there in person. But you, as the editor, you wrote an introduction and set up a little bit the framework for that book. So how is it supposed to hang together? Well,
I thought it was important to, since we're in a historical society, that the book, the introduction should reflect in good detail, so that people get a sense of the framework within which our history society operates, and so it's basically about human history. And so I've mentioned that the Great Barrier was first inhabited about 750 years ago, and that's about 30 generations, and that's the total realm of our researchers. And people are interested in all that time, although it's much easier to get a handle on more recent events. We can't forget that those 30 generations have existed here. And, of course, today we've got a very great help from technology. But that just means that we can delve deeper into the past. And that onrush of our ability to find out more about our history is still unfolding as a result of this increased technology that we're able to bring to bear on their researching ability. So, that's...
Well, I'd be curious to have you talk a little bit more about what kind of stories you actually collected for the book, and what sort of period you kind of cover with that.
Well, most of it covers probably from the late 1830s to the modern, well, reasonably recent years. All that time, and a wide variety of subjects from early shipping history to early farming history to early Maori history, events like the Wairarapa sinking, aircraft companies, individual stories of tragedies or strange events, or the list goes on and on. Really, there was the oldest person to write a story was 93, I think, and he's the brother of the great. He's the his ancestor. He's the great-great-grandsons of the brother of Captain Devlin, who sailed the Stirlingshire away from Nagle Cove in 1849.
Oh, well, that goes back quite a bit. So the histories that got together from people, are they? There's people listening here, perhaps, that have contributed stories. Is there a lot of from people on the island, off the island?
There's
residents?
A lot of people on the island have contributed stories. There's quite a few people off the island have contributed stories. Some of those people won't be known to locals on the island, but when they read their stories, they'll realise that they certainly did have something to do with early Great Barrier. So a lot of what's in the book will be a surprise to locals tomorrow. So I hope a lot of people are there to purchase books. Okay.
Are you not allowed to give away any of the surprises?
I'm sorry, Rend. Let the surprises all come tomorrow.
Okay, good. We'll just have to be there ourselves. But this is Great Barr Island, of course, is quite a unique location in New Zealand. Are the stories unique to Great Barr Island, or do they reflect histories going on elsewhere in the country?
Obviously, some of the histories have got connections to other places, like the Stirlingshire sailed away from Great Barrier and never returned. But it's kept on sailing till 1887, and it was plying the Atlantic between Cork Island and Quebec for about 22 years. That's not explored in this book, but the guy Stan Devlin, who wrote about the Stirlingshire, he was associated with amazing shipwrecks and tremendously interesting characters that are worth reading about just in their own right because of the amazing events they got caught up in. And there's murders and mayhem that intrude into the book that are associated with early Great Barrier that I don't think are known very generally on Great Barrier.
Well, you're certainly making it sound very exciting, but I can imagine that even the process of getting the book together must have been very, very interesting. And I think I'd like to kind of have a little break and talk a little bit more about that next. So stand by. I'm going to talk a little bit more to Don Armitage and John Scrimgeour about the book True Tales of Great Barr Island, which is going to be launched tomorrow at the Claris Sports Club.